Buonasera a tutti. Fremo dalla voglia di giocare a Metal Gear Solid 3. Finalmente, dopo come descrivere quell'esperienza dei giochi in 2D, le emozioni rivissute nel primo Metal Gear Solid, e dopo la follia, perché come altro posso chiamarla, di tutti gli eventi di Metal Gear Solid 2, torniamo indietro nel passato. 1964. Snake Eater. E ciao Nick. Ora mi sa che ci divertiremo. Allora, per una piccola chicca di easter egg, mi piace MGS2. Let's go.
War II. The world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Che atmosfera già dall'inizio. Questo me lo godo così. Così di nuovo gli occhiali e così no. Posso ingrandire.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Quanti ricordi con l'emulatore? Finalmente qui in
20
attivo.
minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Probabilmente oggi rimarremo un po' inattivi a seguire i filmati iniziali. Ciao Ale, buona Pasquetta anche a te, come stai?
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector.
Ecco, mettendo mi piace MGS2 un po' è censurato, ma è il volto di Raiden, biondo.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing? Approaching release point.
Sì, ogni tanto l'audio fa schifo,
Hey,
vabbè.
are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Diciamo che senza il volto di Raiden... vabbè, qua si è visto benissimo. Vabbè, era meno censurato il filmato normale, diciamo, col suo vero
Depressurization
volto.
complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
Si parte con la musica.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at
Col titolo del gioco in fronte.
Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2,
1!
Spread your wings
and fly. God be with you.
Si va! Hideo Kojima.
Jack, I've got some important news.
Jack.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what
Tutt'altro.
exactly is this wonderful mission?
Wonderful mission.
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top
Col
secret weapon
monocolo.
research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A1, known as the
Yuri
Vostok
Gagarin che
rocket.
aveva la gagarella.
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster
Sì, Ale,
used in that
Russia.
rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly
Vediamo
technician
un
to head of a
Putin
design
bambino in
bureau,
giro.
that's quite a success
Non è
story.
vero.
So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to
Ci
Berlin.
butto un occhio,
He
Nick.
was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th,
Guerra fredda.
1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary
Sì, mi
alert.
sembra che vada
Soviet
bene così.
transport ships carrying missiles continued on course
Ora
towards
il
Cuba.
mio sta un po' bassa.
US and Soviet forces went on alert for an
Ok.
all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations
Ci poteva stare
were
comunque una
conducted with the
sfocatura
UN's
dello sfondo,
Emergency Security Council
pur
and
lasciandolo
official
luminoso.
channels to end the hair-trigger standoff.
Poi vedi tu.
Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
Peccato.
But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to
Potevamo
make a deal.
morire tutti, invece ci tocca
One where
vivere.
the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey.
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to
Sokolov.
return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
Eh,
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my side. Then a month ago,
brutto
we
condurre
received some new
un'operazione
information
per
from one of
portarlo
our
fuori dal bordo.
About Sokolov?
E poi...
Yes. He
l'ordine
was
di
taken
ridarlo.
back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision.
Ai ai ai.
What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So, what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device.
Ecco
For
qua.
half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Ah, ok, è sfocata a meno, quindi basta. Cioè, nello schermo piccolo la vedevo più nitida, diciamo. O troppo alto o troppo basso sto volume, ma che è? Anche la qualità fa pena. Ehi, Oxy.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
Una novità in Snake Eater è anche guardare in prima persona in alcuni momenti dei filmati, ma non vi dirà sempre quando
Before that weapon
premerlo.
is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Ad
Once
esempio,
we've confirmed the rescue,
no, adesso lo
Sokolov,
dice,
stand
ma
by at the recovery point.
il simbolo
The recovery
Fox.
balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
E poi il Fulton lo userai molto. Tra una decina
Do you
d'anni.
think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Quel sorrisetto era forse per motivare Snake. Oh, finalmente stiamo atterrando. Oh oh. Eccolo. La civetta quanto sta mangiando? E poi il piccione. Andranno d'accordo civetta e piccione. Pronti a vedere Raiden? Jack. Ovviamente una maschera. Ah, non posso agire sulla mimetica ancora. Vabbè. Vabbè, dopo. Mi ricordavo che se la togliesse nel filmato, invece no, ricordavo male. Un po' lento l'analogico. La giungla. Ora possiamo passare qui sotto, oppure conosco una cosa.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other.
Ok, ma io stavo...
Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. So not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. Oh, and Snake.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right.
Ecco la maschera.
Time for the snake to shed his skin.
Via. Snake. Ah, contento di respirare senza la maschera. E qui continua come al solito. Doveva partire un po' prima, credo, con la chiamata, non lo
Hear me,
so.
Major Tom. This is Snake.
Can you hear me, Major Tom? La canzone di
This
David
will be
Bowie.
a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're
Me lo auguro,
completely
sì.
naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I
Per
see why
entrambi.
you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem.
Tornare
I can see it
indietro.
from here.
Per noi quello è
It's stuck on a
avanti.
branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace.
Ehi,
and
Albi.
I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85.
Buona Pasqua e Pasquetta, anche a
I'll give you
te.
a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function.
Dai, adesso iniziamo
Okay,
però.
Snake, go get your backpack.
Ok. Mi hai riportato qui. Dopo aver tolto la maschera di Raiden. Prendiamo questa. Lo zaino è lì. Sento roba che mi cammina a fianco. Snake Eater. Ma se decidete di non salire, vi chiamano, vabbè, no dai, prendiamole e basta. Anche qui potete fare trazioni. Solo che la visuale decide di fare quello che vuole. Ne fa, ne fa.
I see you've
E di
retrieved
nuovo,
your backpack,
dialoghi.
Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack.
Beh, Nick, è una bella idea. È probabile che faccia un po' di visualizzazioni quel video.
From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with
Ma in
its
realtà
own
i serpenti
suppressor.
prima li ho presi a
However, the
calci.
suppressor will
ha
deteriorate every
funzionato.
time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
Anche il
I have to find my own
silenziatore.
weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident.
Non mi risulta che ci abbiamo mai detto di raccogliere bussolotti.
You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This
Il
time,
team.
survival is of utmost importance.
Cioè, comunque ho
First
solo
member of
preso
the
uno
support team
zaino
will be
in
in
20
charge of
minuti.
monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking.
28
But
anni.
I'll tell you my name only if you
22
manage
giugno
to make it back alive.
1936.
My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor.
Sei il mio
Actually, it was the
mentore.
boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place.
No, l'ho dimenticata.
She's
Chi
going to be
è?
serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Sentite, eh?
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
Teneva bene il
You can tell
conto.
just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a
È
top
offeso,
secret
eh?
mission.
È offeso Snake.
You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Technique,
Sterminare.
sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit.
Come Grey
Politics
Fox.
determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it
Non
had
si sa
nothing to
nulla
do
di The
with you.
Boss.
I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's
Tutto
no
questo
such
e noi
thing
siamo
as an
lì.
enemy in absolute terms.
Seduti.
The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times.
Confidential Legacy.
As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All
The
right,
mission?
but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov.
Ah, grazie per avermelo ricordato, ormai l'avevo dimenticato.
Located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you.
Li ammazzo tutti.
This is a stealth mission.
No, 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 è una missione d'azione, non è segreta, non è stealth, non è niente.
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Ci proverò, boss.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Andiamo. No, ho paura, voglio tornare indietro. No. A butterfly. Se premo il tasto R3 andiamo alla vecchia visuale di Snake Eater, così come uscì originariamente su PS2, per poi uscire Subsistence, la versione con questa visuale, più qualche extra. Dai, facciamo vedere un altro easter egg adesso. Ah no, non ho la sezione cura, peccato. Dremucige. Sai che faccio una run normale, dai. Non mi occuperò adesso delle ranocchie, chiamiamole così. Poi vi farò vedere cosa sono. Intanto abbiamo il sonar. Ah, hanno messo lo stesso tasto della mira. Me l'avevi detto, Albi. Però non parte il sonar, è quello il punto. Come cavolo dovrei usarlo? Ah, non credevo sostituisse. Credevo partisse assieme. Ma non funziona neanche senza arma, tra l'altro. Coccodrilli. Potenti. Vediamo se riusciamo ad addormentarne uno. Ma forse richiede troppi tranquillanti. Fanno paura, eh? Non voglio un colpo di coda. Ok, preso il repellente. Poi anche lì ci sono oggetti. Vediamo un po' se riusciamo a passare. Dai, ma si è messo in mezzo apposta. Shit, ce l'ha con me. No? Credevo se la prendessero con gli alligatori, invece no. Anche lì ci sono oggetti. Silenziatore in più. E via. Vedo sempre l'effetto pop-in, per così dire, dell'erba. Però con una mod sono riuscito a migliorare la risoluzione e filtro anisotropico delle texture, quindi sono nitide per una maggiore distanza. Quindi niente sonar, devo... Però uno lo catturo vivo. Disgusting. Inoltre, chiamando Paramedic sapremo tante cose sugli
The
animali.
giant anaconda is believed to be the largest snake in the world in terms of weight and diameter. It's not poisonous, but its large size makes it extremely powerful. They say it even eats crocodiles. Its only natural predator is man.
And snake.
And snake. The giant anaconda is a very large snake, but you should be able to capture it alive using the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So how does it taste?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Glad I didn't disappoint you. So?
Well, the guide says it tastes all right.
Good. I'll have to try some.
Non è molto d'accordo.
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python. The
Classico,
reticulated
tipico.
python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales.
Sì,
This
Oxy.
pattern acts as a
I
highly
miei
effective
nipoti ne
natural
avevano
camouflage.
uno piccolino.
If you think there might be a reticulated python
Anche mio
about,
padre ne aveva
pay close
catturato uno
attention
tanti
to
anni
your
fa, poi
surroundings.
gliel'avevamo fatto
Otherwise, you
liberare.
could get bitten before you even know it's there.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was
Cannibal, eh?
Nothing.
Solo
Let's
perché mi
see what
chiamo
the guide
Snake.
says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty good.
good? I can hardly wait.
Ogni volta è schifata, va. Ah.
Looks like you found a golova.
Cos'è la golova? Cosa ho preso?
Yeah, it's a fruit that's found only in that region. It's related to the jackfruit, which is commonly found in Southeast Asia.
Jackfruit, huh?
Yep, he's a cannibal. I didn't say anything.
No,
Siccome
I'm
si
sure.
chiama Jack.
Said, I'm sure you'd like it.
Oh,
Golova means head in Russian. It's
Non me li
probably
ricordavo
called
così
that because the
divertenti.
fruit grows to about the size of a human head. It's supposedly pretty good to eat with a uniquely sweet flavor. The fruit itself is fairly large, so you could make a meal out of it. Golovas grow directly off the trunk of the tree. If you're running low on stamina, it might be a good idea to keep an eye on the tree trunks.
Bene, bene. Dai, per ora basta. Dremucic. Oh no, un altro filmato. Dai, dura poco. AK-47. E qui possiamo premere.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Yep.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option
Sono
lets you
impaziente,
change
le so
your
già
face
queste
color.
cose.
Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you
Correndo.
just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature.
Fatemi giocare.
Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Bene, ok. Prendiamoci del repellente. Siamo già all'80%, ma appunto possiamo cambiare le varie uniformi. Con fogliare più 5. Bosco. Vediamo se hanno risolto il problema. Sì, dai. Sembra di sì. La spaccatura ha una risoluzione un po' più alta ora, all'inizio era molto peggio. Oppure abbiamo Raiden. Voi direte, ma perché ha questa maschera? A caso. Ci servirà anche dopo, tra l'altro. Vabbè, io ti metto a dormire direttamente, non lo so. Possiamo anche rompere la radio. Ecco qua. Ta-da. C'è anche un bell'albero su cui salire volendo. Andiamo ad aggredire la guardia di là. Dov'è? Vabbè, facciamo una cosa veloce, va. Dove sei? E poi se vogliamo fare piano abbiamo una bella granata, eh. Oh no, l'ha visto. E adesso? E dai. No, l'ho preso nella spalla. E dai, fermati. Non ci credo. Tutta questa difficoltà per due stupide guardie. Volevo il visore termico, così, a caso. E perché no? No, non ho tempo per queste cose. Anche se volevo interrogare in effetti un nemico, dai. Boh. No, non tutte e due.
Freeze.
Beh, Non riesco a prenderlo. Ah, era cerchio qua. Ma no! Come cavolo si interrogava? Dannazione. Alberto sicuramente lo sa. Vediamo, forse l'hanno messo in R3. What?
Freeze.
No.
Speak. Speak.
Oh, ok.
The crocodiles are ferocious.
Oh, ma dai.
Speak. Answer me.
Bastard.
Oh.
Answer me.
The crocodiles are ferocious.
Non mi servi. Sto accumulando guardie per The Sorrow. Voglio renderlo più interessante. Contento, bellino il bambino, che felice che ha visto il giocattolino da usare. Guardia più alveare uguale. E dai, mira del E anche quei due in fondo ora scapperanno. Bene, questo ci dà il via libera per un po'. E lì c'è un Kerotan, si chiamano così. E noi possiamo andare anche qui, volendo. A prendere un aggeggino utile. La descrizione è così lunga che va anche fuori. Diciamo che non sarebbe simpatico cadere da qui. Vero? Raspet.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
Critica pure, eh?
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
E non importa, li picchiamo tutti.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
L'unica stanza integra ancora.
Be careful.
Tutto
Your mission is to
rotto.
bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Ok, strisciamo come serpenti. Anche se potrebbe essere divertente usare il mitragliatore, ma... potrei evitare, dai. Tu sei il primo. Appena riesco a puntare la tua testa. E poi tu, dai. Snake Eater. Ta ta ta. Tra un po' cambiamo mimetica. Decisamente. Ci metteremo riquadri. D'ora in poi chiamatemi Red Snake. Quello è ancora lì. Notare che è comodo Snake in questa posizione. Ma in realtà speravo di colpirlo con un oggetto, ma vabbè. Oh, da qui mi vedrebbe chiunque.
I hear something.
Bravo, bravo, senti qualcosa. Lì c'è il Kerotan.
What's wrong? The enemy!
Shit.
He's here!
Non lo vedo più, ho fatto una fesseria. Vabbè, come non detto, facciamo il giro. Una botola di sicurezza.
Please stop! HQ.
Sokolov si è allertato, eh?
We're under fire. Enemy position unknown. Commencing alert status.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Va bene, basta. Non volevo arrivare a questo. Quello si è addormentato, ottimo. Qua vicino.
What's wrong?
Questi davanti a me sono barili esplosivi. Potrebbe essere pericoloso se qualcuno li facesse esplodere, no?
Radio, where's our backup?
Ma stanno sparando all'impazzata, cavolo. E io che li volevo solo far esplodere. Call of Snake. Dai, basta. Volevo giocarlo seriamente, ma non ce l'ho fatta. Più forte di me. You must be Ames. You must be Sokolov.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Ah, non potevo andare tranquillo, no. Si addormenterà dopo. Just my imagination.
What's wrong?
L'ha già svegliato. E vabbè, mentre aspetto di sistemare il casino che ho fatto, niente, non posso fare nulla. O meglio, non mi conviene fare nulla. Ma porca miseria, dov'era?
Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Commence attack.
No, tu non lo sai dove sono, dai. L'allerta sta diminuendo, dai. Vattene. Se riesco a farlo spostare di continuo, quando scade l'allerta, in teoria se ne vanno. Oh no, non guardare qui. Annuisce? Dai, adesso andiamo avanti.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Allora, due vicini. Altri di là. Non posso vedere nulla. Ok. Sokolov. Sta passando il tempo bruciando le cose. Piromane.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Ah.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word.
Probabilmente gli aveva promesso che l'avrebbe recuperato. Niente di particolare.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the
Non sai mai
Army's
niente.
extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev
Cattivone di
in his
turno.
place. The mastermind behind this plot is
Volgin.
Volgin of the Gru. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
E ovviamente agisce indisturbato. No, fermarlo noi, non...
The intelligence says that
Tutti
they are
gli
going
altri
to
non
make their
esistono.
move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Se sono entrato io...
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me.
Troppo pochi.
Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem.
Ah, ecco, allora ne basta uno.
Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
E che farà ora Snake?
Your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Let's go, eh? E poi, sì. Un attimo che devo inginocchiarmi e girare questa rotellina che ho qua nel petto. È quello che sto facendo.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost
Questo
contact
dialogo
with the boss
cambia
some time
ovviamente
ago.
se non li
What
uccidete.
happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Non riescono più a sentire The Boss. Strano, vero? No, non è strano. È in un sottomarino. Perché siete così sospettosi? Sti tappi. Guardandolo male perché è rimasto in mezzo. Ancora. Let's go. Ecco come fa Snake quando non lo usiamo noi. Sì. L'onda energetica adesso. Zan 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 zan.
Freeze!
Beccati. Perché questa luce è strana? I colori erano un po' diversi.
So this is the legendary boss.
Boss.
We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
Ah.
What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Ah, ora ti riconosco, hai messo bene il cappellino, ok.
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
E non lo sparano. Oh, arrivano questi, si sentono invulnerabili.
Get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
Ok, che è un compagno, ma... Tutto figo adesso. Tutti così esitanti. È bravo, è bravo. E noi potevamo addormentarlo, ma no. No, noi lo lasciamo agire.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov,
Non mi
take cover.
sembravi dispiaciuto. Che vuole questo? Eh?
You're not the boss, are you?
Che vuoi da The Boss? Eh? E miagola.
GRU operatives?
Fermi tutti.
What is that stance? Huh. That gun.
Deriso.
If you're not the boss, then die.
Ah. Let's go!
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Ha ricordato il CQC. Quello dietro è pronto a crollare addormentato. Col tranquillante. Schiena a terra. Il proiettile che rimbalza fuori, il suo proiettile sfortunato.
Impossible. You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
Revolver Ocelot? No, solo Ocelot per ora. Lo chiameremo Ground Ocelot, visto che gli piace così tanto la terra.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Crollato. Eh sì. Revolver Ocelot. Beh. Sentiamoli, no?
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
E del fatto che ci ha chiamato boss, the boss, the boss, the boss, the boss. Non so se mostrarvi cosa succede se uccido Ocelot adesso, ma forse no, dai. No. Una trappola per topi. Guardate il taglio di capelli corto, pixelloso. Fatevelo anche voi. Svegliati. Non si sveglierà mai. Sì, probabile Alberto. Adesso vediamo un po'. In effetti durerà parecchio il filmatino dopo. Non ricordo se qui dentro... No, niente. Vabbè. Non si apre. Se non c'è altro da prendere, possiamo anche addormentarlo. Nell'occhio. Il tranquillante nell'occhio. Tutto normale. No, vabbè, anche in fronte fa ridere, dai. Vediamo. Piena fronte. Adesso penserà, ma io non ero svenuto qui. Lo mettiamo in un punto nascosto. Così penserà che gli abbiamo fatto chissà cosa. Oh no, ho fatto scaricare il sensore, non l'ho tolto. Vediamo se questo esplodeva. No. Mi piacciono le esplosioni in questo gioco. Oh, oddio, per essere della PS2 ovviamente, dai. Voglio spingere anche questo. Qui Ocelot sarebbe morto. Allora, vediamo se ci sono altri oggetti che non mi ricordo. Credo di no. Però c'è un serpentone qua. Si sente. Sì, adesso andiamo, dai. Vediamo, ci mettiamo... Niente. La tigrata che è la mia preferita. E niente pittura. Dobbiamo essere belli per il filmato. Dov'è Ocelot? Eh sì, Sokolov. A volte Ocelot me lo portavo fino a qui. Proprio voglia di perdere tempo. Fantastico. Ci ho cazzeggiato troppo con questo gioco. Un filmato di sicurezza. Sto litigando col tappo ancora.
Okay. Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down.
Eh sì, sei proprio finito, cavolo, Sokolov. È un casino
And
adesso.
we've got some of the best backup we could ask.
Look.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. Cutting behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Sembra fatto di metallo. Potremmo chiamarlo Metal Gear.
The end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes.
Eh sì, anche lui ha la sindrome del devo ripetere le ultime parole e trasformarle in una domanda.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Let's go. Inarchiamo le sopracciglia. Extreme Big Boss, il primo save è la prossima missione. Sì. Sì. Si va per tappe. No, non ho fatto vedere che potevo distruggere anche le corde del ponte. Vabbè, dai. Chissà sa. Ma tu non eri in un sottomarino nell'Atlantico? The boss.
Boss?
Ma sei scema, boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Nani? Mi ricordo il filmato divertente dove le vespe attaccavano lei. Calabrone. Pardon. Da fear. Boss, che ci fa con questi strani individui? Prego, si sega, signor Sokolov.
My friends.
Dopo le portiamo il suo tè.
I have waited long for this day.
I have waited long for this day.
Once more. Welcome back, boss.
Strabuzza gli occhi.
Five of us are together.
Sasso
It's
carta
time we go
forbice.
to the depths of hell
Anche quello.
itself. It's raining blood.
No, è l'allucinazione.
Is he crying?
Ti ha detto di sì. Chi sarà mai questo fantasma? Intanto Naked Snake non fa nulla. Aveva i proiettili in mano, poi sono spariti. L'ho visto. Non me ne ero mai accorto. In alta risoluzione si scoprono tante cose.
Joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Voiken. Che dà il benvenuto a
Boss,
The Boss.
what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union.
No, I mean that
Sokolov
man.
is a little
What
gift
is
for my new
that?
hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples?
Potevamo andare con lei,
Are we
tranquilli.
taking him with us?
E invece.
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us cobras.
Ma ho la barba, non sono un
He
bambino.
has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
È un tranquillante, dai. Ci è rimasto male. Che male. Questa scena fa un male a guardarla.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live.
Ed ecco perché Thunderbolt.
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
l'avresti ucciso
He's my apprentice. I'll
10
take care
volte
of him.
mentre facevi tutta la scenetta. E poi ti senti dire che non puoi. Scemo.
Jack, you can't come with us.
Però ti porgo la mia mano. E tu, stupido, la prendi. Mi hai rotto il braccio. No. Però ha preso la bandana, ha vinto lui. Non era quello il gioco.
The new blood has been rejected.
Parla a metafora quello. Guida calabrone.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Bravo. Sei forte.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Eh sì. Triste questa scena. Non avevo mai notato il sangue nel braccio. In faccia sì.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move?
No, non ci
Got to
riesce.
get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Ma tu non mi vedi?
The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment.
Assolutamente, Alberto.
Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using
Anche
the
durante il
weapon window
filmato.
button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen.
Lo so già.
They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up.
Il bello è che possiamo curare anche in ordine casuale con tutte queste cose, funziona,
If you
quindi...
do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
E lì vediamo uno scheletrino. Vedete dove c'è la barra della mia vita? Che poi anche con la visuale di Snake Eater, che è questa. Facendo così si vedeva qualcosa. Però con questa... tutto più facile. Vabbè, curiamolo, dai. Funzionerà qua? Ma è lungo più o meno come gli altri, dai, non è... un po' di più. No, qui non funziona. Lo rivedremo dopo. Allora abbiamo un taglio profondo, un'emorragia, quindi dobbiamo usare intanto... Cosa abbiamo qua? Niente, va. Fesseria. Allora, lo disinfettiamo, poi c'è un'emorragia, quindi usiamo un emostatico. C'è un taglio profondo, quindi dobbiamo cucircelo. E poi usare una benda, ok. E anche a caso si può fare. Notare comunque... Abbiamo storia medica, possiamo fare le radiografie. E rientrando con R1 possiamo vederlo in posa. Ferito. Ok. E ci siamo. Anche la gomitata per scaricare il dolore. La bandana.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Tom. The Shagahod.
Shagahod.
Rubato. Fessi. In effetti, good job Snake, non proprio. Sì, comunque The Boss in realtà non stava facendo così per Snake. È sparita l'ombra di Snake. Stava salutando quello scheletro. Sta ancora rimuginando. E chi sarà mai quella bella bionda lì dietro? Forbice. E poi alla fine The Boss usava in faccia.
Great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagahod.
Hanno gli occhi uguali, chiarissimi.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Non c'era quando sono entrato io.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear.
Perché ha la testa staccata dal collo.
A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
Tieni, tieni.
She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
È pazzo.
Even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
E qui tutto va pure. Si è preso un po' di radiazioni. Esatto, è andato tutto. Donne di facili costumi. Ah sì, qua stavo provando un po' di scemenze. Me la tengo quella. Mi ero anche dimenticato. Era qualche settimana fa. È in qualità bassa. Come si permettono? Io ho orecchio per queste cose. Sì, è forse la prima volta che vediamo un'esplosione nucleare nel gioco, nel senso non in un filmato, ma proprio vissuta dai nostri personaggi. Sì, con la Easy. Principalmente stavo provando la mod della risoluzione più alta in vari paesaggi. La palude in particolare mi interessava. Potente. Abbiamo passato il tutorial, eh? Fantastica. Nel menu qui non me lo fa. Ah, R1, non L1, non so perché. Poi c'era il modo di far apparire paracadute. serpente. Kojima era geniale. Ah, ecco, così cambiavano. Più di così non faceva. Rieccoci. Una settimana dopo la frattura al braccio.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
No, non è che colpa mia, boh.
So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours?
E il cuore, sì.
I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you, too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This Fox
Fox
is still one
die.
step ahead of the Hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind
Ma non
of
di
chance?
cancellare il suo nome, di ripulire il suo nome. Cambia un po'.
Have a cigar. It's Cuban.
I preferiti di Big Boss.
This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson? Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't
Era
heard.
un no italianissimo.
The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin? Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the Boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The Boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the Boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in a violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government.
È passata una settimana e non ha pensato a una scusa per quell'aereo.
You have 1 week. You must catch the Boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The Boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't?
Un bel ricatto.
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
Diciamo che c'è un peso sulle nostre spalle non indifferente.
America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the Boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, They've apparently
Stava
been training
guardando
with
su.
the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Vulcan's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
EATER.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Let's go. Ah, Lost. Sì, anche Kojima è un po' giocherellone. Che poi si vedeva adesso. Però non dobbiamo lasciare tracce. Qualcosa che si schianta e sarà sentito da 2 chilometri di distanza. Di nuovo nella giungla.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more
Frega
time.
niente.
Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction
Anche
of
nel
the Shagohod.
4.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
I must have missed that one.
Anyway,
Bel film.
It's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it.
Quindi
You used the
Major
name of
Dick,
the
dai.
tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
But I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square zero. My frequency is 140.
Un gioco di parole perso nella
0.85.
traduzione.
Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same. 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How will I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lule Lo."
Lali Lule Lo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent. To the Khrushchev regime, at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Dai, chiamiamolo. Facciamolo. No, Snake.
You're Snake, aren't you?
And you're Sigint?
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Huh?
I am the expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Ah.
I'm the guy that designed your trank gun, active
Nato
sonar, and motion
l'11-11.
detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or
Alessandro
equipment you
Video
find in the
con
field,
giocato sei
just send
iscritto
me
al
a
canale.
message and ask. Later.
Paramedic. Beh, andiamo un po' avanti, dai. Perché non hanno fatto tipo che puoi prendere a pugni l'albero e cadono i frutti? In tutti i giochi funziona, qui no. Sto testando il posizionamento del suono. Ehi, il Kerotan. Non voglio sparare. Vabbè, che poi non le sta neanche prendendo tutte, però. Il cibo è cibo. Che ne pensa Paramedic della rana?
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
Same here. It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
Huh?
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Then you must have seen me naked.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Let's hope so. But seriously,
Flirtando.
don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you really shouldn't even be on this mission. Keep an eye on your stamina gauge. If you start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina.
Beh, ti volevo
not
dire
to
che ho
get
preso
yourself
una
hurt.
rana.
If you're wounded or get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes, there was talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
Good. I believe in you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
So that I could watch over you.
Huh.
Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble, to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other. So that's why I volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Stop right there.
Huh?
You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Snake, unlike the virtuous mission,
Ma
this
io-
is a night operation.
La rana,
You'll be encountering nocturnal animals that you didn't encounter your last mission.
che è durata
Some of
5
them are
minuti.
venomous, like the king cobra, so be careful. If you get bitten by a venomous animal, the poison will spread through your body and rapidly drain your life gauge. If that's the case, go into the cure screen and survival viewer immediately and inject yourself with serum. Got it? I see you caught an otten frog. The otten frog is a large, corpulent species of frog. They're known as a delicacy, so it might be worth catching them for food. The otten frog was originally found only on Amami Oshima in Japan.
E perché in Russia?
Frogs usually have 4 toes on their front legs, but the otten frog is unique in that it has 5.
Got it. By the way, you said they were known as a delicacy, right?
Right.
So that means they must taste pretty good, huh?
I guess so. I hear that in Japan, otten frog sashimi and sukiyaki are popular dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Japan, huh? That place is starting to sound better and better.
Che ridere, Snake. Oh sì, paramedic lo trova un lavoro se vuole. Vediamo il faccione di Snake. Ma ti cade addosso un uomo di quanto? 75 kg? No, il serpente è ancora vivo. Ma no, dai, posso salvare dopo il filmato. Forse qualcuno mi serve anche vivo di animale, vabbè dai, per adesso. Huh? A horse? Che poi... Pitone verde arboricolo. Con R1 è figo perché possiamo vedere i dettagli. Mi piaceva troppo che quando, vabbè, nella PS2 potevi vedere i dettagli delle armi così. A vederli ora non sono molto dettagliati. Ma dai, filmatino e poi salvo. Tanto non dura tantissimo. Anche qua c'è un pezzo di scena che mi fa un male a vederlo.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Il nostro bersaglio.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
What are you doing here?
Oh shit! Troppo lento. Che scorso.
Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Lo ero. Grazie.
Boss.
The boss.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America.
Ma quanti proiettili ha?
That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry.
E piove.
The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Non me ne devo andare.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be?
La faccia nelle
Loyalty to your
gocce.
country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well.
Lo fa apposta.
Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again, I'll kill you. Now, go home.
Che male. Strano non dover curare una frattura alla mano dopo questo.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your
Chi gli ha
objective.
fatto la foto mentre prendeva una ginocchiata?
We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a
Perso non è
battle
la parola
situation.
giusta.
Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Come fa lui? Va nell'erba e poi salva.
Saving the game, Snake?
Ammazza, già
Hey,
mezz'ora.
Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
Sì.
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has
Sì,
no
Ale,
way
ma
to
tra un po'
stop the
termina.
monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was
Sta
originally a
infogando.
Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance.
Non l'ho mai vista.
It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Netflix, Snake.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
No, Ale, in realtà no.
Then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a
Niente
different
casa
perspective when
domani.
you get in a jam.
Si ricomincia.
That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
E insomma.
Do you want to save? Okay, good luck.
Quando si vedono le facce di come si incazza. Boh, non è più in fiamme comunque.
What's this? HQ? HQ. Huh?
Era per ridere, dai. Come cavolo si può uscire da qui? La mappa ogni tanto mi ricordo che esiste. Opzioni. Ecco qua. Ok. Fuoco e fiamme. E occhiali. Ero sempre più curvo. Che male. Oh, quindi sono così alto quando sto dritto. Fantastico. Cioè, ormai no. Comunque, grazie per la compagnia, ragazzi. Ci becchiamo domani. Continueremo con Snake. Per quei due. Dimmi. Altrimenti domani che giochiamo quella parte. Devo attendere che quello che ho detto vi arrivi tramite la live, che è meno live di quello che sembra. No? Va bene, dai, allora stacco. Urca. Dai, ne parliamo domani allora. Buonanotte a tutti, ragazzi, e un saluto esplosivo. Yeah!